The last part of the final formal report series, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about gathering sources. So this is just just kind of like an introduction into the library's website and where you can find sources and sort of best practices for you. So when you start thinking about the social implications your project may have, or the rhetorical situations and discourses you are entering in with your project or your project touches on, I want you to think about some of the primary concerns brought up between you and your community partner, whether they be project specific, organization specific, or things you've thought of on your own. Start making a list of things that you see as issues or things that you saw as concerns for your project, with meeting with your community leader, whatever it may be. And then from there, think about some keywords. What are some keywords that may align with those? What are some things that you believe or phrases that you think go along with those concerns? And then how do the issues connect? How do all these issues draw from one another? How are they in relation to one another? How are they connecting? Sometimes it may help to draw a map or a web connecting these issues. It may help to make an outline as well that connects these different issues. Just something to consider when you're beginning. This is actually some preliminary work that you do before you research. And if you still have trouble, maybe just a conversation with your partner or even myself to talk things through. But your partner, will have a lot more to offer you. What they think, what they see as maybe some larger issues. They are professionals in their field and their organization and what they do. So, talk through it with them and see what they think. So one of the things that we are very fortunate to have is such a large database. At my last institution, we didn't have one as robust as Northeastern. Northeastern's databases are actually phenomenal, and the librarians are really great. So here's a link to the Northeastern's library page. I've also included the second link to Ask a Librarian. So I recommend that if you feel stuck on your research, to please reach out to a librarian. Please, please, please. They are the best resources. I do this myself too when I have to write my own papers. I always go to the librarian. And I've sat down with them, I've talked to them. They've given me so many great tips on the library. So definitely I would recommend that you can chat with them real quick. You can send them an email as well. But yes, always ask a librarian about if you feel stuck in your research process, if you're not really sure what to talk about, or maybe you have one idea and you don't really know how to draw that idea out, your librarian is going to be the best resource. So thinking about the front page of the library. So when you go to the library's homepage, which is the first link, you're going to see different boxes. One of those boxes is research subject guides. So a research subject guide is basically the library lists out all different types of big name research subjects. So subjects that you can research. And they label them out into guides. So one of them can be anthropology, one of them can be education, one of them can be even electrical engineering. And each subject guide has their own librarian, which is actually really cool. So for example, if you go under the education subject guide, you can actually email and talk to the librarian Lindley Hummel, and she is specifically curated to help you find sources on education and whatever social implication you want to talk about within education. So please use this research. Use the research subject guides to even begin just researching and contacting librarians. That's going to be your best bet. The second thing is just databases. So if you kind of already know what route you're going to take, what implications you're going to argue for, perhaps take a look at the databases. In the front page, if we go back to the front page of the library, you'll have databases A through Z. And you'll have JSTOR and you'll have EBSCO. Those are going to be the primary databases that I recommend you work from. JSTOR is the best. You can actually search for something in JSTOR, and then you can, so let's say let's take the example of education. I can type in education. It's going to give me a million results. However, I can search within that search. I can search within those results. So if I have educations typed in, and then there's going to be another option that says search within results, I can search, let's say, K through 12 education, and it's going to give me everything that has to do with K through 12. I can search for inner city schools education, and it'll give me everything that is about inner city schools in education. So this is actually EBSCO and JSTOR allow you to do these things. It's actually really, really helpful. But again, I always recommend for you to talk to a librarian. Talk to your librarian first to get some ideas going, to figure out how to work the library databases. I promise they're going to be a lot, probably even a lot more helpful than I would be. So I really do recommend that you seek out a librarian if you have trouble accessing any sources, if you have trouble coming up with ideas. Even so, they are literally magicians, and we should probably pay them more. Okay, so that's really all I have for this. Like I said, this was just an introduction to researching and figuring out how to work with databases in the library website. So I will upload this to Canvas as well. I'm going to upload a copy of this entire series to Canvas, as that was requested from one of you. So if you have questions, just let me know.